Okay, so we should be live on YouTube. So I'm gonna be showing off this grinder I use that's actually really fast. I'm gonna tell so, yeah, so the people in Roblox with me asked if I play Gorilla Tag. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna send the link out. I don't know what the color code in terms of hex is, because for me it would be so it's 02550, which is so. So my color code would be quite literally pretty much, yeah, this would be mine. I could have some fun. So this is what I used to grind. So for the grinder, you need this jetpack. I can just switch team. You can go to like red team. Let's start recording this for a video later. So I just have that to make it easier for bulk grinding. So you need one of the wing jetpacks, which is the Ultra. We'll just turn off isolation mode. You need your Ultra jetpack, and an Ultra thruster. So yeah, it might seem weird. So like, yes, I have double gold, but the fun part about this is this grinder, while it takes a lot to learn, you don't need to worry about a specific spot. You just have to worry about so I've learned you have to kind of spin, or at least kind of go backwards to kind of slow down enough. Otherwise, I've learned one problem is you miss stages and you won't get gold. Other people say that it doesn't give much gold. That's because if you don't spin, like you'll see here, the big difference. So they were saying like 40. Meanwhile, when I do it, I get 97, missing only one door. So I think 1 or 2. Hi, welcome in chat. So what this is fully is this is how I actually grind my gold. I just have the jetpacks here so I don't have to constantly replace them. And I use match rotation. The move doesn't matter. It can be 1. So when placing it, I always find this here. Yeah. I see you here. So when you place it, you want to, so just to show what happens if you just go through. I've learned you can't go through like this because it gets bad at the end. Because you'll notice a big difference in gold. we will anchor that. We don't really need this anymore. The portals are just there. So that, because this is made for, I've learned you kind of need to place it where your head is. It gets weird sometimes. But when you, so I found when it's set up, you really just have to kind of spin right before each door and you get almost all of them. So as you can see, the reasons I like this especially, really enough, it's a good question why not use like a normal portal or bridge farm. Weird enough, I did find that this is faster by a lot. Like I found this actually and just so you know, I don't have this many jetpacks. I actually only have 6. Yeah. So really, the only thing you need for this is the jetpacks, which they do cost Robux, so that's the only hard thing to get, because these jetpacks I will mention, most people don't realize they're full power, because I'm gonna actually paint the one portal green before the bad things happen. These jetpacks are known for the fact that they could lift just about anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. Oh yeah, the giant tires? Kind of. The tires tend to be the only problem, but they can lift a lot. I do one of the best Pokemon in the game. I do play Pokemon. If you have seen on my channel, just go and buy it. This is the only downside. When this happens, but even then, if you are decent, you can manage to get decently far. You'll just reset since that broke. But the portals are here just so I could do that. So I recommend placing it on the front if you do this. But placing it tends to involve just placing it. Yeah, I do know how to make an AFK farm. But really enough, this makes more than what they make. Because, yeah, I could make an AFK farm. I've debated on it, but really, if I need gold, it takes me half the time to set up this. Yeah, my friends actually got one of the ones which can be set up and it will take you through the doors to get more gold. Because at this point, in terms of gold blocks at least, I've got more than enough. I use this mainly because with double gold, in about half the time, like it takes nowhere near the time it would take for an AFK grinder. Like I timed it and like the AFK grinder, the time it takes to set up and everything, in that time I could get three times the gold. Actually did the math in full. Using even, because I did also try this one. Seeing if the one that's this style is faster. I was thinking of something like that too. Because I was thinking about doing one, because obviously I have so many portals. Doing a portal between the doors only. Actually, that actually might be a really good idea. Hitting the chest, then doing the rest of it. Because in theory, I could do basically just setting up portals like this, and it will drop you through the doors in quick succession, claiming them all. Like, there are a lot of good ways to grind gold. Yeah, I'm gonna do this last run. Then I'm gonna set something up. Oh. So I found something weird, which I found actually I'm working on trying stuff with. So I basically found a way to make a gyro. And I've learned it even has some really interesting properties. I need access to put a block on the wheel specifically. So I found the rope has some weird properties. In terms of what happens when I do this. I found the rope. Well, everything seems fine. I could, yeah, it kind of, keeps your rotation set to whatever. Yeah, and then, the only way to fix this really is to actually turn off match rotation. Like, this acts fine until you start spinning. So, I also found an actual good implementation of this. That's what I'm saying. So here's a thing I found. So, like, because I test random stuff in games, because I make games, so I test random stupidity. I tested. So I found there's one problem with those. And you're about to see this. Here's a reason it's going to be hard to make a Beyblade. So if I do it here, so let's say I attach it here. Here's the problem. Let's max out the length. That's 24, and that's as far as we can go. Not really useful. Then if we try to do anything to make it longer, it moves both parts. Start to notice the problem? But I figured out a weird way to work around it. It's called height. So what this portal is, it's a teleport where I'm getting to a point where I'm getting too far up in the null zone. It's something I made a while ago just as like some fun experiments. But one thing I've learned is that the game does not care how far away you are. So I could actually create, just for the test, just not have it blow this thing up. Okay. So while the max rope length is 24, I've learned a workaround for it is this. So obviously it can't be placed there, but one of the few workarounds is doing this. the rope is still there. It's just super long. You could make it longer, but the problem is I've had problems with it this long even. Because I've had it where if I was to activate this wheel right now, I've had it randomly fling me to the null zone. But now it seems to be fine. But but there is one useful implementation. I found another way to replicate that is with pistons. I need to turn off match rotation. Then yeah, let's clear all parts just to make life easier. Then we'll do it, let's just say here. So the wheel, so like wheel grinders and that, the ones where you have the 4 spokes, where basically you make just a basically just to get kind of make one, not have to make one. So where you basically have this kind of thing. So these these this tower is tall, yes, but there's a reason I need it this tall. And you're gonna see the reason why in a second. You just need to get it back down here. I was testing this idea earlier, and it did actually turn out to be promising. So here's my idea. So I do have one of these seats. Let's not do that just yet. Before anything bad happens. Okay, so just to showcase kind of my idea, we'll move the sheet up. So here's the idea. This is slow. This is very slow. And it gets into a problem I found where when you're like this, forward and back is now left and right. So my idea I had earlier, it involves this. Basically, I thought that if I could maybe use the wheel and this person messed it up. Let me just select all of it because I have to have it perfectly still. For this to work. This is so my idea works like this. Basically making a mount like this with just two wheels. We'll debind them from this seat. But then we can send them up. Then so we'll make this basically a simple wheel. Okay, so that is correct. Now we just need to make it if this person doesn't stop, I'm about to join another team. Yeah, I know it's not space stuck. We can go to black team. We'll have to redo that. Space stuck is fine. Space stuck, I actually know. Wait, 5, 2. So this is just a basic like wheel style thing. So here's one thing I found that actually could it be useful. So this doesn't seem too useful at first, but here's where it actually can prove useful. So once this wheel decides to go back to where it belongs, what we can do is basically we set a rope, exit the camera, then we're gonna do that. That it was a very important thing. Actually, we're gonna do it again. Because to show why this actually would be useful, we need to move this up enough to be free. Okay, now that this is free, the wheel spasming is fine. But here's the fun part. Let's say we set up this specific series of things. It looks fine. But it gets interesting when we set move to 2, the seat, and just for not destroying everybody's eyes, camera. The camera isn't needed, it just makes life easier. Now, we can anchor So we should be able to save. So the way this is set up, if I can get just another seat, stay stuck. If you want to get on, you can. Just don't sit in this seat. So remember that this rope is 1,000 studs long. Remember that this wheel how is this thing levitating? That's how. So if you look, we can spin. But to make it a bit more controllable, we'll set this to 40. Increase the torque by a lot. And I found so as you can notice, hey, if you want, you could sit. Yeah, that would be cool. Like, because even then, like, lining it with spikes like that, like, just to, let's see how well it handles the water. It's actually, I haven't actually tried driving one that's this size. The nice advantage of this is, no matter what, the left and right always is correct. And just for your reference, if you didn't think this was crazy, so like this is 0.5 speed and this is 50. So but this has proven that there's actually some cooler things now. Like, this is actually a really cool thing I've made. So another thing I found recently is there's this thing that only works with doors like this, but you could actually do this. Only if it's in the open state this works. But anything you would attach here, for example, let's say I wanted to put but just for example, we will put a tree. It can actually drag the tree with it. Let's see. Yeah, I play quite a few games. I work to find little things with it. But this kind of was to show a bit more about how to use the grinder that I use here. But to show the main part, I just split up the recording to edit this later. But so when you have the jetpack attached, to actually get it on, you want to find a location. So I found, check here first. It's a little weird. It's like placing it about here, but then there's like spots on your body where it just doesn't snap right. But then so as I'll actually find him. He said that apparently the way the stage works is that you apparently have to be in there 2.3 seconds for it to count. I did not realize that's how it worked. I thought it mattered how long. I kind of figured it was something with going too fast. Because I make games, basically I thought what was happening is you were traveling so fast, you weren't ever hitting the door here. You were just going from A to B without a register of being in between. I didn't know there was a stage timer. I do see other glitches, and one thing I found, which so I did find an easy way to beat it. But one thing I did find that actually is kind of interesting. We'll do it with this because it's the funniest one. So, for PvP, I see this big, very, very deadly. No, this is a bit more dumb. If you were to talk about insanely overpowered, I call this, yeah, have fun. Have fun. Hit and miss. Guess I kind of just made a homing missile. So, just so you can see how powerful this truly is, it kind of is almost impossible to dodge. And then if it misses, guess what? I get another one. And in theory, if it hits you, you're done. Because it's going to do the constant damage of the spike. But I did find something with the glitch I believe you were talking about. Which I found. So, at first, my way of doing the box was actually get a portal harpoon to the end. With the golden harpoons. Then I learned there was an easier way. It's called, apparently there's something way more dumb. So basically I learned, so if you have, like any of these items work, but it's recommended you use this. So if you remember how you would remove the water, it's basically doing this. It used this, my friend told me about it. I learned it teleports you. So I was wondering, what happens if I did this? So the whole sit and cake. And then I was like, you think maybe I could, like, kind of just have the box there? Then, basically, so that could be sitting at the end. I had it sitting on the wall to help my friend. So I was like, what if I did this? Cool. I can drag the black box with me. And then, remember what the harpoon would be at the end. I could just teleport the entire box. And it counts immediately. And fun fact, doesn't matter how far away the harpoon is, the harpoon is now 1,000 miles in the air. I just teleport to it. Instantaneously. And if you want to talk about dumber, I learned this. If you want to be annoying, use a spell for good. It works in seats. I unintentionally found one of the most powerful things in the game. Oh, if you want to see it gone, it should be this. If you want to see gone, I want to call that gone. Here, you want to do something fun? Base all the gold you have. If you have the skill tool, just make a giant gold brick. I have something pretty powerful. I don't think 1,000 gold's gonna help you. If this thing hits, it has literally taken out entire buildings in seconds. So if I hit F1, oh, and talk about funny. Nope, not that. They do not want to enter the portal. But surefire way to destroy anything is I'm haven't got to do it yet. It's called I make a vehicle that I can drive over and place just that. I see. Actually, I see what it is. I think I understand how it works. From the sound of it, it's basically that feeding into a camera like this. For these are told to feed into each other. I would assume 0.05. And then, yeah. But if you want to see devastating, I can load in this. Now we just wait. This is a sphere. It's a perfectly normal sphere. You just gotta wait a while. It takes a few minutes to load. Oh, Is oh, there we go. Oops. I didn't. So it can fly, but it does that. And yeah, it kind of creates a so yeah, the reason it's so bad is each of those blocks, it's not one. Basically, I took this and I just literally kept repeating that pretty much. So it's multiple blocks in one. I could do more, but it already takes forever to load. But it works with any blocks, but I use like obsidian and titanium, which if you want to be funny, if you want to talk about funny, I only have 129 wood. But one thing I just have been working on just for fun is I've been making a sphere. Literally nothing special. It's just a giant sphere. A sphere that weird gyro thing I showed earlier actually will be placed into it. Yeah, the sphere might be a little hard to destroy. I think or it could just tow itself to the end. So I believe I might need that. And then Remember, it's a sphere. What happens if I put this on a sphere? It basically just rolls itself to the end. Or better yet, I use send. Actually, that's gonna be a lot harder than I thought. Getting Because in theory, getting a rope long enough to make it to the end, that's not gonna be easy. I did not think about how hard it's gonna be to make a rope that long. If you want to talk about funny. That's a counter. Oh, that's a timer. Well, YouTube, we're just gonna end the stream here. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like, so that I should keep making content like this. Because I would love to keep making content of me showing like games I make and breaking games with bugs. I also will check out like creations in different games. See you in the next video.